I remember the day as if it were yesterday. Wish it was. It was the 3rd of September 1983 that I, Joe Potts, bearded Piscean and above-average supply teacher, was asked to work for 6 months at the Chase Lane Junior School, Chingford, Essex. I jumped at the chance of regular employment, financing as I was at the time an estranged wife called Maureen, whose work as a puppeteer had dried up, a Jack Russell called Les, and a heroic mescaline habit. It must have been around the 2nd week that I was asked by the head of woodwork and creative fun to take year 3 for PE. You got a really talented young boy out there, Joe. He isn't the brightest firework in the sky, but football-wise, he walks and woes. You may recall the controversial policy followed by Chingford Council back then of only employing people who suffered with roticism. The Kwei-Armah Initiative, as it became known. The first question they asked me was not about relevant teaching experience or qualifications, but had I, or any family members, ever had difficulty rolling our R's. As quick as a flash, I responded, "Why do you ask that, Mr. Rogers?" The job was as good as mine. So here I was on a blistering hot summer's day, suffering severe opiate withdrawals, feigning a socially crippling speech impediment, and taking a group of highly active 8-year-old boys for football training. "Okay, boys, over here. Now I want you to start trying to take free kicks from just outside the penalty area." So anyway, after about 10 minutes, up came a fresh-faced young boy called David. "Hit it with the outside of your right foot and try and curl it in," I shouted. He did. The ball bent like a banana and buried itself in the top of the net. I'll never forget him running towards me, face full of excitement, just like a young Bob Monkhouse. "Mr. Potts, that felt so good. I mean, hitting it with the outside of the foot really seemed to change the trajectory of the ball. The aerodynamic improvement was outstanding, but be honest, sir, was it aesthetically pleasing to the eye?" Or words to that effect. "Mr. Potts, I'll never forget this. When I scored my first goal for England, I'll remember this day and you." That was 23 years ago, when, on the 26th of June 1998, I saw him score against Colombia in France. My heart almost exploded with pride. I'd recently undergone a triple heart bypass and was worried by this, but I contacted David's old school and, amazingly, for only 150 quid, the headmistress forwarded me his private number. I was so excited about meeting him again. To be honest, I'd fallen on hard times. During my years in regular employment, my mescaline habit had graduated into a full-blown cocaine habit. However, this soon took its toll, and I was once again on the employment scrap heap. Cocaine went to malt whiskey, then Polish vodka, then strong continental lagers, and finally to cheap ciders. As for David, well, after he came back from the 1998 World Cup, he wasn't exactly flavour of the month. I went up to the village where he lived in Cheshire and rang him from a nearby pub. The Goose and Extender, I think it was called. Only he didn't answer. His fiancée did. I had drunk a few too many Diamond Whites that afternoon and probably didn't show myself off at my best. Next thing I remembered was waking up in Manchester Royal Infirmary, and on the locker next to my bed was a card, simply saying, "Thanks, sir," and then a small message, "Say hi to Wiki Wayman and Walf for me." I guess he must have known my secret all along.